Hello and welcome to this short tutorial on how to use the crop tool. I'm going to do it in Photoshop and in Premiere as well. Not that you use it very much in Premiere, but it's a very easy tool to use. And you're probably watching this thinking, but David, I know how to use the crop tool, but do you? And do you use it properly? So, crop tool in Photoshop, it's up here in Tools bit. Just there. C on the keyboard is the shortcut. When you press that, you'll get a box around the outside of your image with marks at the corners and halfway along, a bit like a pool table, except you've got some down the side as well. And then dead easy, you can sort of click and drag it in and do whatever you want in terms of changing the crop of it. Now I've got mine set to what you should normally use, which is this up at the top. Aspect ratio, so original ratio. So if I were to change that just to ratio, which is the default setting on Photoshop, on this I can sort of squeeze and crop the picture however I want and generally make a complete mess of it. This is really bad if you're going to print it, because very rarely do you actually end up cropping it in something that is the correct size and shape of the paper that it's going to come out. Most people tend not to print their pictures as much these days, so it's not as bad. But even so, if you're going to put this on your website or use it for a portfolio, you generally want stuff to look sort of, compatible and similar. So you normally want to stick to either square, which can look quite nice, or original ratio on there, which will do that. So when printed, this should work absolutely fine as well. Once you're changing the sort of these kind of elements to it, you can then obviously click in the middle of the picture and drag it around to sort of get it how you want it cropped. Now a lot of people look at this bit in the middle and go, "Oh, I wonder what that does." You got like a little sight in the middle. And you move this round and you think, well, it doesn't do very much, Dave. It sort of does nothing. Look at it. It's just moving around and nothing's changing. Now this is, it does work, is the axis by which it rotates. So when you want to rotate, you go to an outside corner and you get like a curved arrow like that. And then you can click and drag and see that point that I've put here is the axis by which it rotates. When you're rotating as well, it's quite nice. You get the grid format, which is really good. So if you've got a landscape picture and you want to get horizon straight, you can use that quite well. So for this picture, you could straighten it up. It looks really boring with it straight though. So that would be how you do it. And whenever you've finished cropping something, you must press enter and it will crop it for you. That's a really bad crop on that picture, isn't it? And then obviously you can always go back in. If you're in the middle of cropping something and you think, oh, I wish I hadn't even started this, what do I do? Just press escape and it'll undo what you've done. Nice. So if we shuffle over to Premiere, I've got this shot of somewhere in Norway. Oslo. It's a fancy building in Oslo. I don't know what it is. So let's just say, for example, I really didn't like this tree over on the left-hand side. It's quite rare you'd crop in video, but there are occasions when it's sort of important. You need to know what you're doing. So if I go over to Effects Controls, and then make sure I've got the clip highlighted that I want to work on, so I'm just clicking in the timeline to make sure that it knows I want to edit this clip. And then generally speaking, you just use scale. So I'm just going to click and drag it up so it goes a bit bigger. But obviously I want to move it then, so you just go to sort of the other two up here and shuffle it across, shuffle it down, and there you go. The only issue here when you're doing it on video, particularly for photographs have such good resolution, it's not really a problem. But in video, resolution could be an issue if you go crop crazy. Or if it's a panning shot or the camera's moving around, it can look a bit weird. But if you're shooting 4K or with a really good camera, you should be able to get away with a little bit of cropping. No problem. So I hope that helps. Another tutorial from me. Enjoy. Why is it not stopping? Press stop.